It's 8 o'clock and you are very welcome to this exciting show. So we're going to kick it with some icebreakers, going right into the question tags. Which creatures are women most scared of? Okay, so is it A, is it gecko? A gecko. And then B, is it a cockroach? Is it C, snakes?
My anaconda don't. My anaconda.
Is it D, rat?
Rat.
Is it spiders? Creepy crawly.
I feel like spiders used to be scary back in the day, but you know, like in Zambia, we have those two friendly house spiders.
But
in Australia, like Australia has
is just a spider. They are not different spiders.
No, the ones in Zambia don't even bite, man.
So amongst those, which ones do you think women are most scared of?
Nah, it has to be cockroaches. Cockroaches are number one.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. Which residential area best gives the impression that its dwellers are rich? Which residential area gives the impression that the people that live there are rich, right? I'm sure you have a few ideas in mind already.
Obviously,
so is it A, Salama Park?
Adi.
Silverest. C, PHI. Chadley. And the last one, McKinney Bonaventure.
McKinney Bonaventure. Let's see.
McKinney, I feel like it has two sides, man. Because I feel like McKinney has both.
Yeah. But I feel like people that are considered in that way now are those that have moved away from the city. Because they're obviously looking for big land where they can put like huge mansions and all and just proper houses. You know, like the Salama Park houses, you don't have parking space. You know what I mean? Like they're
don't
very
even have space
small.
For trees.
Yeah,
just
you don't even have space for
the whole yard.
Just grass, it's enough. You're just like, go and rest in the shade for the grass or maybe the roof. But yeah,
they don't even have trees, man.
That's how it is, though. So yeah. I think McKinney Bonaventure.
Nah, I don't think so. McKinney's for farms, man.
Chadley. No, McKinney Bonaventure. Still stick to McKinney.
I'll still go with Salama, man. I've been to granddaddies. I've seen what those people do.
Wow. So you think everyone knows that granddaddies comes from Salama Park?
Yeah, just let me just walk to. Because there isn't
Joey
enough parking.
is stressing me again. Bro. That's a chill place, bro. Yeah. So McKinney Bonaventure or Chadley comes in second for me. That is. Yeah. So we jump right into the 180-degree spin right now. We're about to give you whatever it is that we're going to give to you, all right? So I'm going to be tackling different stories, but my first story is for the guy Hicks Yamba, who plays a role in Mpali as Frank.
That guy's a great actor. I love him.
Very good actor. So in that series, this guy apparently died in the series. And he started receiving RIP messages in his inbox for real. Which is scary for me. If I receive such messages, I'll be like, what? What are you people trying to do, you know? But it was very scary for him as well, because, I mean, he was wondering, why am I getting this? So people need to differentiate between a character in a series and a person in real life. That's why we have what we call stage names. What's your stage name?
Joey.
Joey. What's your real name? Government name?
Joey.
So these are the guys you can send text messages to. If he was playing a character called Joey and he died, you can send him RIP messages. But for Frank, he didn't die in real life, because in real life, he's Hicks Yamba who's still alive. Do you think to an extent that can trigger someone if they're already in a position where they feel like life is hard for them and then you send them such a message? Do you think it would trigger them to actually commit suicide?
I don't know, man. I don't really think so, because like he knows... Most people watch Mpali as well, right? Mpali is like one of the best Zambian shows. So immediately he saw it, he was obviously like, because the character died in the show. Plus, you know how Zambians love to troll people, man.
And you know, I think the messages came through because of how good this actor is. Frank, guys, he was the guy that we hated for real. Forgetting is just a character.
And that's the thing.
I hate that guy. But I love him, yeah.
You know a villain's really good when you hate them in real life.
Thanos,
then you know the guy has nailed the role. Nah, but Thanos, we love him.
Yeah, we love
that guy. You don't love that guy?
I love that guy, man. I love him for being a badass.
Because with this traffic when I was driving here, half the people gone wouldn't be a bad idea, bro.
Yeah, also, in my 180 degrees, Zambia commemorated Police Day. Yeah, these are the guys in uniform. Yeah, when we talk about uniform, they're the ones we always talk about mostly because we do not respect them as much as we respect the military guys. You know, for these ones, I feel like it's because they're so close to home. That's why that happens. There's that little respect for them. Yes, Buana. you know. But that's that. Ben, why do you think policemen and women are not respected as much as the army guys?
I don't know, man, because policemen are... You know, I'm debating about saying anything bad about police.
Because the day you won't have road tax or fitness, they will definitely...
I even know it's going to be war for me, for sure.
Right?
That's the thing that I'm afraid of, man. But police... I don't know, man. I don't want to get arrested.
I see what you're doing there. It's
but
not
yeah,
go deep into the police.
I feel like probably it's because they don't help people as much. Yeah. To be honest, like you can't get stuff done by the police without you leaving a something on the side.
Yeah.
And at
the same time, I feel like there are people in a certain profession where every time they are close, you feel protected and not scared. You know what I mean? But over the years, they have been full of abuse and have not been working properly. Sorry to say that. Like, I'm saying that because of stories that I've seen trending online, my own experiences as well, which brings me to one experience I had the time I was at the University of Zambia. You know where riots start? And then they are throwing tear gas. And guess what? This time around, they were throwing tear gas in the rooms for students, making you get out of your room and beat the out of you and put you in those cars. Those cars actually have a name. Like a
what
very
did you guys used to call them?
I've forgotten what we used to call them. But yeah, once they put you in there, then 1,500 for you to get out of the police cells, which by then was a lot of money.
That's your BC.
I know,
BC
right?
comes in and goes to bailing you out at the same time.
That's a lot of money.
And we used to have that as well, because just when you said riots, I had flashbacks. So I also used to call them jumbos. And like my room was right at the entrance where they used to come in from. So the first canister of tear gas, that new one, it used to come like right by my room the first time, and I had terrible experience with the police, man.
Yeah, but do you think that is it that we just don't respect them, or they do not deserve our respect? Is it us who are the problem, or maybe it's them?
Okay, but at the same time, to be fair, I feel like we do have some good police people in Zambia, to be honest.
True.
So some of them, yeah, some of them...
So, yeah, policemen and women, make sure you get to duty, like arresting sex workers that we have if what they're doing is illegal. Which brings me to my other story. I'm talking about sex workers demand respect from the public because they feel like the job they're doing is very helpful to them because they use it to feed their families. Actually, this message was coming from the president from the Sex Workers Association of Zambia.
Oh, I won't even...
Lizzie.
I'm surprised they even have a president. Yeah. Like, there's a whole association going on.
A representative. And I'm wondering, how are these elections held? Is it the one with the biggest buyer? Or is it the one who has a very tough background? Yeah, but...
Or the one with the best skills?
Skills, yeah, or best customer service. But yeah, so that's that. Sex workers have actually complained, so they need respect from the public. And I'm not sure if working as a sex worker is legal in our country. And if it's not legal, why do we have all these sex workers standing around the country giving us those standing ovations that we do not ask for no reason? Why do we have them all over the country? Is it legal or is it illegal? Have you heard anything about it being legal?
I'm not too sure, but I should have a feeling it's illegal. But the weird thing about Zambia is, like, we all see these people on the streets, but no one ever does anything about it. But all of a sudden, when it comes into a conversation about legalizing it, then all of a sudden everyone has a problem. And like, you know, if Zambia is such a Christian nation, who are the customers?
I know, right? And you know, it also brings me back to the story we were discussing in one of the episodes. We were talking about how condoms are distributed in prison or jail, so to say, you know, because there are no females. These are just guys. So a lot of issues need to be brought to book. They need to be discussed. We need to get proper information from our leaders out there. And you know, funny thing about sex workers, I wonder how they sleep with everyone when they address everyone as my brother. So, you address me as my brother, and then you still want to get down with me. And then
this should teach you a lesson.
Want me to
because even in church, isn't it like kind of the same thing? My brother, my sister.
My brother, my sister. But later on, you're going deeper, Papa. Sex workers, my brother, my brother. Stop it. I am not your brother.
Yeah, so this week there was a Paris Fashion Week going on, and Kim Kardashian came out wearing tape. It was pretty much tape.
Was that
like
on tape?
Around her?
Like
Yeah, it was cotton. It was cotton tape.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she came out wearing this whole tape that was designed by Balenciaga, and she could barely walk in it. She was just like struggling to take one step.
You know. You're telling me it was designed by Balenciaga and Analuviana Balenciaga. Like, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see, because you couldn't walk straight. Yeah, so that was the whole thing we did. And now the question that we all have is, where's fashion going? Where's fashion really going? And also, celebrities are usually paid to do this sort of stuff. Because I think now Kim Kardashian probably gets like $800,000 per post on Instagram.
That's a lot of money. How much do I get? 2 likes.
If you wore tape, you'd probably get 0.
Wow.
And a post on Mwevantu, maybe.
I know, right? Like this crazy Zambian guy. But it's okay.
Yeah, but then if we had our own version of like the fashion week in Zambia, what do you think it would look like?
Like, Mumbachi,
do you think we would have like crazy outfits like that?
Like Mumbachi wearing that pembe sack of millimil. You know, we need to take that stuff to another level. You know, let's be creative, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently there were 4 children that went missing in Sesheke.
Okay,
and 2 of them this week were found dead in someone's backyard.
Sad.
And the thing is, it has everyone wondering, is this a story of witchcraft? Is this child trafficking? And because there were no marks on the bodies or no body parts missing, so now everyone's wondering what was actually going on. And the owner of the house is yet to be found. The story is that they went to Namibia, but then no one can find the owner of that house.
That's crazy.
And it's just like a crazy situation. But every time these things pop up, people rush straight to witchcraft.
Yeah.
But this is something that could actually be child trafficking.
Yeah, true.
Do you think like the country takes child trafficking seriously?
I don't think we do. I think we have connected a lot of these issues to just witchcraft, you know, because it's something that's, hey, what happened? We don't know. So if we don't know, then spirits are involved. So it's witchcraft.
Yeah,
you know? And
obviously
we even call a papa. Yeah, we even call a papa to just come and have an overnight while you don't sleep. And then he goes to the mountain to pray and he sleeps when you guys are not sleeping. So, but that's very sad. And I think these are times when the law or the policemen that we are complaining about need to just get serious and look into these issues and make sure they do proper investigation. Because I'm sure these people are trained to do the correct job. They know how to get samples of.
I don't even think. Do we even have a forensics lab in Zambia?
No, we don't. They don't.
Like fingerprints and stuff.
Yeah, fingerprints and
stuff. I don't think we do that.
So it's just, Mwami, I think mukayangana mushomusho uja mfana ni mutari maninge uchi. Ero futi aone kari futi na manja yokosha. Agankari anachita strangle wafana video. Right? Hi, see strangling it. Ero atabira na Namibia. So Sesheke is actually close to Namibia. So I think the owners of the house need to be found as soon as possible so people get justice.
Yeah, they actually do, because child trafficking is becoming a serious thing. There was the issue of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and like all these billionaires were just found in a scheme where they used to traffic children from all over the world and take them to some island in, I don't know if that was the Cayman Islands, somewhere around the Bahamas.
Yeah, Mylon Brothers stuff. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, and it's a crazy situation. So I really feel like the police need to impose like stricter border controls and other stuff like that that could actually help, and not just say, it's witchcraft and just leave it alone pretty much. But this week, Women's Day. We were celebrating the beautiful women of the country, and the theme was, I won't quote it word for word, but it was something about breaking the bias pretty much. What do you think? Do you feel women in society are still facing the bias?
I think they are to an extent. I think the major thing about this issue is creating an environment where they can do everything that men are able to do. Like if they have access to everything that men can access, then the bias would have been broken. But I think comparing the two isn't so much of a good idea, because I feel like we're made differently and built differently. We can't be equal, but we can create an environment that's equal to all of us.
Yeah, but the only thing is, I feel in certain areas, we can be equal. Like when it comes to like sports, for example, sports or what, I'm sure you don't even watch women's football.
I do. Yeah, I
What
do.
team do you support?
I like Brazil because there's a girl called Cristiana there, like close
When
to
was
my
the last
name.
time you watched a Brazil game?
The time they had the World Cup.
That was the last time you watched women's football.
Yeah, I stopped watching it because the Japanese ladies look like they're guys. Because
How's that a reason to stop watching?
no, like I'm just saying, but I'm still watching it.
But then you watch men's football, and then if the women look like guys, shouldn't that make you more interested?
no, like they deceive me, and then I'm screaming, son! Then I'm like, oh no, no, it's not
Are you
son.
trying to say all Chinese people look alike?
Yeah. Then I'm like, me. Then they're like, you? Like, yeah, you? Like, you are all Japanese, Chinese names. So.
So the whole thing with leveling the playing field, I feel like in some areas they can't be equal, like in sports, for example. But then when you bring in stuff like in the workplace, when it comes to schools and all that other stuff,
But
that
in a
stuff
lot
you
of
can actually
areas,
equalize.
in a lot of, don't say just sports or other areas. All areas, we are just different.
Different in what sense?
There are girls, there are women, and we are men.
And the
The way we
difference
think,
is
the way we are physically built is just different. Even the mental power, is just different.
you know, you speak about mental power, but here's a funny thing. You see how a few years back people didn't want to send their girls to school because they're just, hey, girl should just be a wife, she should cook and clean and all
Yeah,
that.
true.
And people thought men were smarter this whole time. But now women are outperforming men at school. And even just the recent Zambian results that came out. The women are kicking our butts, bro.
Yeah, but still, are you overlooking the times when men were good? I feel like just an environment where women can do whatever it is that men can do is okay. Not that we can be equal. I really don't think it's that. Because men, they can perform better if they are put in a position where women are in and told, you need to start working hard. You need to be equal to the women. Don't you think the men would also up their game and just...
They possibly could, but then they already kind of have the upper hand, so... Even just in something like politics, for example, how the president talked about he's going to bring in more women into parliament and stuff like that, and then here we are, and we only have like, how many are they? Like 8, 5?
See, so the president mentioned that, and where were the women? So I think the push also, if men have a stronger push, they'll definitely get those seats, you know what I mean? Unlike the women. Because he mentioned to say we want to have more women in these parliamentary seats. But guess what? More men are there, even when it was announced. Did you not hear? So if they had heard, they should have pushed more than the men. So yeah.
No, because at the same time, I feel like it's also an issue of policy. Because look at the countries that have gone the furthest. It's what is it? Finland. Basically, the Balkan states and New Zealand, I know, has gone really far as well. But it's all about like deliberate policy and pushing things to a point where women can come in and get an opportunity to do their thing as well.
I feel like we can't be the same. Just an environment for us to be able to access things in the same way is all we need. Being the same, not much.
Yeah, that's why we need an environment so they can prove that they can also do the same stuff.
It might also mean you think the president lied when he said we want more women. Obviously, he said that, but only few went there, We still have women in our society that goes like, that's a man's job. Like they can't do certain things. They go like, that's a man's job. That's a man's duty,
Yeah, so we need to break down that
Do you
stigma.
remember the
That's
last
the whole
time you
point.
went on a date and she paid for the...
Oh yeah, me she actually pays.
Okay, yeah.
She
lucky you,
they
bro.
don't pay for
Yeah.
you?
No, they
Hey,
sometimes...
bro, find your girl that likes you, man.
Sometimes, bro, but most of the times it's like my duty. Even I have that feeling like I need to be in charge,
But then do you think that's a natural thing or because you were brought up like that?
I think it's a natural thing, man. Adam and Eve. The rib was gotten, she was made.
But God had to give the instruction.
To the lady. Go and report to the boss.
Yeah, because even just like how people still have that stigma about having female bosses.
Yeah.
And even when a woman has like leadership traits, like she's assertive, that woman is just bossy. Hey, no, she's just having mood swings or something like that. But when a man does it, what a leader, this guy.
I think they're just people like that. I'm coming from an organization that is women-led. And these are brilliant women that I'm talking about. But we are just not the same. But they're brilliant. They have all the enthusiasm. They've got the skills. They've got the leadership.
That's the thing that I'm not getting. How are they not the same? I don't understand.
Like, remember I was giving you an example of sports.
Yeah.
Like, women cannot play with men. Like
Yeah,
the
but that's
physical
like...
build. And I also feel like even mental power, Like there are
mental
times
power, I don't know,
like
man.
we as guys ignore a lot of things, bro, that happens. Like emotional stuff. We ignore a lot of
So,
things.
are you
And
calling women emotional?
I am not. You will not put me in that corner. Women, I love you. This guy is just pushing me there. Yeah, but me, I'm not like that.
No, but then I feel like people derive these things from when you're in a relationship with a woman and you notice some of these traits. But then when they go in like their professional lives, it could be totally different.
Yeah, because I have a friend that I had a chat with and we were talking about feminism. He told me most people misinterpret that. It's not about competing with men. No. It's about stepping up. So remember, I kept on talking about the environment. That's what's important. These two can't be the same.
I feel like they can be. I still disagree.
Joey and stressing me.
That's kind of my job at this point, bro.
All right. So right now we're going to get straight into the hate rankings, and I'll take you through my hate rankings. And I am talking about the top 5 things one does or says when their fuel is on E. When you're driving, and then the fuel is on E, the light just goes on.
I know
These are the top 5 things people say. On number 5, we have look at the fuel gauge from an angle. Just look at it.
If you just calculate from this side,
angle, and when you look at it from this angle, it will look like it's not yet on E. Just comforting yourself, So that's number 5. That's what they say.
I've done that before, man. So I totally agree with that one.
Because you're trying to comfort yourself. Because where you're going, it's far. And then she has said that, come home, my parents have left. Then the E has gone.
It's Silipa. But I think if I just...
But is Africa. But yeah, Silipa. Number 4, we have drive in Zambian gear. Neutral.
I've seen a lot of cab drivers and bus drivers as well. Right? Especially when they're going down.
Just switch off, man. They just switch off the car and then they're like, you know what? Move. Be natural.
Hey, but I guess if it helps, it helps, man. If it helps, it helps.
But why drive a car when you can tell that the fuel is about to finish?
Because she just called you and she said her parents are not home.
So you just started off?
You pass up the opportunity.
Preparation is very important. On number 3, we have ask yourself where you went and when the light went on. Ask yourself where you went and where the light went on.
So I just came from Salama Park.
But
it went on E when I reached Toto filling station.
Yeah, like today I didn't drive the car a lot. Today, so, where was I first? Where did this car light go on from? So I have a cabbie, and one day I called him to come and pick me up from home. So this guy comes, and I get into the car, and the light is on. It's on E. And I'm like, I'm going to arcades. Are you sure we're going to? He's like, hey, boss, can light in 25 kilometers. Yeah, like, how did you even calculate?
See, under the situation.
So this guy has been there, man.
These are the people that you see pushing their cars in the highway, man.
Yeah. And then on number 2, we have look for the closest filling station. Look for the filling station that is closest to where we are. Closest to the destination, not where we are, but to the destination, like where we are going. You look for a filling station that's close to that. Yeah, like you plan if it's going to reach or not.
If it's going to reach, it's definitely going to reach. Yeah.
And then the most common one on number 1 is, I know my car. I know my car. Whether it's on E or not, it will escalate. Yeah, it will just reach. Like
it's going to go.
It's going to go up, No, it's good knowing your car.
No, it is. I won't even deny because I use that line. I use that line a lot.
Oh yeah?
No, because for me, I know my car. Between here and Cowboy, I'm going to use 1 bar.
That's a line that's very good.
But then if I have 1 bar and I'm in the car, no one's going to trust me, obviously. But me, I know my car.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So that's it for my hate rankings, man.
I have one for you too. Top 5 things that brought great men down. Number 5, love for gifts and appreciation.
Love
for gifts and appreciation.
Because that's true.
Yeah,
it's true. To a certain extent.
Bringing great men down. Love for gifts and appreciation.
Yeah.
I thought women are the ones that love gifts.
You think so?
I mean, don't you love gifts? It's only money that makes you happy for the most part.
Even gifts, bro. Shoes. Like, man. That just takes you down.
Number 4, food. Ask Adam and James Ringo Peary. Who's James Ringo Peary?
I'm also thinking.
Do you know who James Ringo Peary is?
No, I don't.
Hey, but food can definitely bring you down, man. Love for money. It's one I can agree with.
Yeah, I can also agree.
Wamino ina kasa kakanda lama niya wa matati hapa.
Because the number of people that just pull off sketchy deals and stuff like that. Even like most of the ministers, like former ministers, what brings them down is usually like money, they did some sketchy deal when they're in power or whatever.
And I keep wondering why money never gets enough. Because I'm looking at this guy, Bill Gates, then he has all the money in the world, and he goes like, I still want to make a lot of money. What will I do? I'll make a machine that can get the water out of the shit, and people can still use that water. Like,
would you drink that water?
No, man, I can't.
It's purified.
No, bro. Like, just a thought.
No, because you know the water that comes from the river, people shit in the river, and then they just purify it at water and storage or something like that. Number 1, peach emoji. Ask Adam, or ask majority of men. The booty. You're still thinking about the water. This water could be from shit and you wouldn't even know.
Thank you, Bill Gates, for this water. It's really nice.
Yeah, so number 1, the booty. Peach emoji.
What's that?
Bro, don't act like you don't use the peach emoji. With like a water afterwards and an eggplant.
What's that?
Okay, we're talking about women, man. Pretty much we're talking about women.
Yeah, it does. Because, I mean, why do you send that to the people? For the people.
By the people.
By the people. Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you remember the hate remembers? Let's get straight into them.
That guy isn't buying groceries for the next 1 month.
And you know, like everyone was cheering up. You know, if that guy wasn't buff, I'm sure people would have, hey, what are you doing? But because he's buff, like everyone has no choice. They're like, yay, get the meat, put it in your bag. There are no plastics. It's the right way to carry it. Yeah. Because it's bad.
Why wouldn't he just get a plastic if he was going to do that?
Right? Or just
put it into the
right
bag.
There. Man's got a big family, you know. And in the first clip, I felt like the guy was sitting next to Dr. Strange.
Why? Because like let's go off and then all of a sudden. Like, now women do that. You've never seen that car side eye when you're on your phone. The car.
And they know it so well, man. Like they can read your whole conversation, even the one you haven't typed. Like they can just read it from the peripheral view. Like
no, because bro, she's looking this side, and the next thing is, who's Maria? And you don't even have an answer.
So when
for that,
when people say women are chameleons, it's not like they change. It's because of how the eye can.
look, even the neck, man. Chipululu, wow.
Well, wow.
Why should I create to make such a suicidal decision to go and borrow at a 40% rate? It's impossible. I want to go to the government to borrow. They say, no, you need to work for the government for 2 years. But I need the project running. I've got people following me. They need to come to the farm and see what I'm doing. So funding, we're not looking for charity. Like, I was quite offended by the doctor lady who said, no, our family is not a charity. Yes, we're not looking for charity. But if you can give me $10,000 at a rate of maybe 5%, 2%, like the Chinese come, they come with a lower percentage, and they come and invest here and they beat us, I cannot compete with her even if she came to Zambia. Because she borrowed maybe from Singapore at a lower rate. But look at me in Zambia, 40%, that's suicide.
Right.
So we can talk and talk and talk, but let's create an enabling environment for the African youth. Because we can't have so much vast land, yet we are languishing in poverty. Netherlands cannot export to Africa if they don't feed their own people. Yes, I'm happy the young people are exporting, but why are we leaving our people? Why are they dying? African graves are the richest because we've lost so many young people to poverty and hunger. So we need to really critically look at agriculture as the oxygen for economical in Africa. It should not be a backbone. I can break my backbone today and I can live on. But if I don't have oxygen, I can't live on. So agriculture should be the oxygen of the economy in Africa. Thank you.
What a way to actually powerfully finish this conversation. One, make agriculture sexy in order to attract young people into it. And number two, start seeing agriculture as the oxygen of our economies and not just the backbone of our economies. From our teams right here, we want to say thank you for watching this CNBC Africa special. I'm Eugene Anangwe.
Anangwe. It's almost as if while he was watching it, he was just thinking of the word sexy.
Sexy, like I'm gonna use
sexy.
This,
yeah. Then it just came up and hey, let's make agriculture sexy.
It looks like that journalist that we have in Zambia. Alo Chokankon. You know the one that
just as we have heard, like
just as we have heard Alo Chokankon. But points though from the lady though. And you know how every time there's a meeting and there's someone speaking to there's always that guy who doesn't understand, but the head is always nodding.
Not even that. What I heard is like whenever these people start talking, have you noticed how they always lose their point towards the end?
Yeah.
How she just went into without a backbone, but oxygen.
The backbone, they went to oxygen.
I think it's just when you see people agreeing with you and then you just get more confidence.
You know how it is. The mind is funny. Because every time you're going to present something to some people, you're going to talk to someone about it, there's always that thing where it convinces you, like, if you say this, you'll look smart. You know what I mean? And then you get there, you're telling people, and they're like, where is that coming from?
Kind of, do you ever have that experience where you're about to go for a show and you have jokes lined up and you're like, this joke is going to bang, and then you tell it and the audience is just like,
yeah, so it never gets funny. Just like this moment of this show is not funny, because this is a part where we say bye-byes just for now, because we're still gonna be here with Hader Clark that comes to you every week. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page at Hype Digital. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's Hype Digital. Instagram, Hype Digital. Do we have Twitter? Jonathan!